Okay, picture this. You're flying, maybe inside a cloud, completely socked in. And suddenly, you get that feeling, stomach lurches, feels like you're banking hard left.
Uh,
But you glance down, and the attitude indicator, dead level, steady as anything.
right.
That weird disconnect where your body's screaming one thing, but the gauges are saying something totally different, it happens, especially when you can't see outside.
It absolutely does. And when we're talking instrument flight rules, IFR, that kind of confusion isn't just, well, confusing. It can be incredibly dangerous, potentially lethal even.
Because your own body is feeding you bad information.
Exactly. Your natural senses, the ones you trust every day on the ground, they actually start lying to you once you lose those visual references.
Okay, so that's what we're diving into today. We really need to unpack why our senses can betray us up there in the soup, and crucially, why for anyone doing their BIR, especially in, say, a typical Cessna, those instruments aren't just helpful, they are the only truth.
That's the mission. It's all about understanding why we must trust the panel.
So what's the core issue? Why do our normally reliable senses go haywire?
Well, it really boils down to a couple of things. Primarily, your vestibular system, that complex bit inside your inner ear, responsible for balance, and also what pilots call the seat of the pants feel.
Right, that feeling of pressure, acceleration.
Precisely. But without external visual cues like a stable horizon, these systems become completely unreliable. They get easily fooled.
How so? Give us an example.
Okay, a classic one is the leans. Imagine you enter a very shallow bank, maybe just a few degrees, and hold it for a while. Your inner ear fluid eventually settles, adapts. After maybe 20 seconds, your body starts to feel like that slight bank is actually straight and level flight. It feels normal.
Okay. Your body recalibrates to the wrong thing.
Exactly. Then you notice it on your attitude indicator and you correct back to wings level.
The actual wings level.
Yes. But because your body thought the bank was level, this new correct attitude feels like a bank in the opposite direction.
Well,
And the sensation can be really strong. Your instinct, your body's reflex, screams at you to bank back into the original incorrect turn. It feels wrong to be level.
that sounds incredibly disorienting. So, faced with that kind of sensory lie, what's the practical takeaway? What does this mean in the cockpit, minute by minute?
What it means in the cockpit is, well, it's non-negotiable. You must develop absolute, unwavering trust in your instruments, period. Your attitude indicator, your altimeter, your airspeed indicator, they are showing you reality.
Even if your inner ear or your backside is telling a completely different story.
Especially then, you have to consciously, actively ignore those physical sensations if they contradict the instruments. Your entire focus has to be on that instrument scan. See it, believe it, fly it.
So, how do you drill that in for the test and more importantly for actual flying?
Yeah, good question. For remembering this, it's about mental discipline. Think of it like this. Instruments give you objective, factual data. Your senses give you subjective, easily fooled feelings in IFR. That's the fundamental shift.
Data over feelings.
You got it. Now, what examiners expect versus what really matters? Examiners for the BIR test, they'll want you to know the names, the theory behind illusions like the leans or the somatographic illusion. That's the one where acceleration feels like pitching up and deceleration feels like pitching down.
Right, the book knowledge.
Exactly. Knowing why they happen is good for the exam. But what actually matters when you're alone in the clouds, it's not reciting the definition. It's the immediate, ingrained reaction to trust the instruments without hesitation.
So the real skill isn't the academic knowledge, but the deep-seated discipline.
100%. That split second where your body screams, bank, but the attitude indicator is level. You cannot hesitate. You follow the instrument. That commitment, that discipline is far more critical in flight than knowing the Latin name for the feeling.
It's about building a reflex almost.
It really is. You're essentially rewiring your brain. You're teaching it that in the absence of visual cues, the instrument panel is reality. Sensory input becomes secondary, almost irrelevant noise.
So, a final thought for pilots working towards their BIR. How can they start building that trust muscle?
Here's something to chew on. Start practicing now, even when you're flying VFR in good weather.
Oh.
Deliberately spend, say, a minute or two focusing only on your instruments. Consciously try to fly by reference to the gauges, even with the world visible outside. Feel what the aircraft is doing according to the panel. Ignore the outside view briefly. It helps build that mental pathway, that reliance on instrument truth over sensory feeling.
Interesting. using VFR time to build IFR discipline.
It gets that muscle working because ultimately trusting your instruments isn't just a technique. It's the absolute foundation of safe instrument flight.
A crucial skill to master. Thanks, that really clarifies things. Data over feelings, that's the mantra for IFR.